So the 2017 NBA dunk contest was probably one of the worst dunk contests I've ever seen. Now I'm not going to say it's the worst of all time because obviously I haven't watched all of them, but from what I've seen in my life, I've watched a lot of dunk contests, this has to be one of the worst, and I'm about to tell you guys why. But before I get into that, if you guys enjoy NBA and basketball content, I encourage you guys to hit that subscribe button and also smash that like button. Let's try to hit 100 likes on this video, that would be amazing, but let's get into it. So as you guys know, coming into this dunk contest, there was a lot of hype. I mean, Aaron Gordon was making his comeback. As you guys know, last year, he was probably the favorite. Everyone thought he should have won last year, and he obviously didn't. So there was a lot of hype around Aaron Gordon. Also, Derrick Jones. He had a lot of viral videos on YouTube and on Twitter. People thought he was going to come out and absolutely kill it. And also, a lot of people wanted to see Zach LaVine in the dunk contest. Unfortunately, he declined the offer. And he also got injured, so no matter what, he wouldn't have been able to participate anyways. So with all these things combined, we were really expecting a really good dunk contest. And from last year, we probably saw one of the greatest, if not the greatest, dunk contest of all time in 2016. As you guys know, Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine were going at it, tiebreaker after tiebreaker after tiebreaker, 50 after 50 after 50. I mean, it was by far the best dunk contest I've ever seen in my life. So, coming into this dunk contest, I had my hopes were high. I thought Aaron Gordon was going to come out and kill it. I thought Derrick Jones was going to do some pretty athletic things that we've never seen before. I thought DeAndre was going to do some power dunks. I didn't really know much about Glenn Robinson, but I thought we were going to have a pretty good dunk contest. And well, I was wrong. Now, if I had to describe the dunk contest in about 7 seconds, here it is. Now, but really, let's talk about what really went wrong in this dunk contest. First of all, Aaron Gordon's mishaps. So he started off the dunk contest bringing out a drone with a basketball. Now, it's a great concept. It's never been done, obviously, and drones have become very popular over the past few months. So it was innovative to bring in a drone, but unfortunately, it was a huge flop. In my opinion, I don't think the drone was getting high enough, so the ball wasn't bouncing high enough for Aaron Gordon to dunk it. And on top of that, he was missing the dunks. I mean, he missed, I think, 3 dunks. They gave him a 4th dunk, which I don't think they should have, but they gave him a 4th dunk. He ended up making it, and he got a pretty low score for it. And I think after Aaron Gordon had failed so many times, it really just ruined the entire vibe of the dunk contest. I felt like the crowd wasn't involved anymore. I really wasn't involved because Aaron Gordon missed 3 dunks in a row. And when a player misses that many dunks, it really just ruins it. So after the very first dunk, the contest was already off to a bad start. As time progressed, it just seemed like nobody could make dunks on their first try. Derrick Jones was struggling doing it. DeAndre was struggling. And Aaron Gordon was obviously struggling. It was just really, really unfortunate. And Shaq brought up a great point during the dunk contest. He said the atmosphere of the arena isn't the same when a player misses their first dunk, and that is so true. I just felt like the crowd was not interested. The crowd just was not hyped. And for me, I've always enjoyed the dunk contest since I was a little kid. That's my favorite part of All-Star Weekend, is the dunk contest. I remember watching back when you had Jason Richardson in it, Amari Stoudemire, even more recently with Blake Griffin and Nate Robinson. Some of the greatest moments of me watching All-Star Weekend came from the dunk contest. And what did all those dunkers do? They made their dunks in their first or second try. And with that being said, when all these dunkers were missing, it really just deflated everybody's mood. Now, another issue that I noticed with the dunk contest was that there was really no creativity. A lot of the dunks that we saw have already been done. Besides Aaron Gordon, he brought out the drone. That's very innovative. Nobody has ever done that. But Derrick Jones, jumping over 4 people, he did it in a very athletic way, a very unique way. But it was nothing spectacular. And on top of that, as I mentioned earlier, he missed on his first try several times. As for DeAndre, he jumped over the DJ table. He jumped over DJ Khaled. That was cool. And then as for Glenn Robinson, all his dunks were pretty basic. There really wasn't anything creative. Last year you had Aaron Gordon bring out the mascot. The mascot was on the hoverboard. He jumped over the mascot. He just really changed the way the dunk contest was seen. And I felt like he revived the dunk contest last year only to kill it again this year. So I talked enough about Aaron Gordon. As for Derrick Jones, I feel like he disappointed like crazy. He was so hyped coming in. We've seen all of his videos on YouTube and stuff, and he's only played like 20 minutes in the NBA, 24 minutes in the NBA. That is just absolutely crazy. He's not even an NBA player, really. He's more of a D-League player, or he is a D-League player, I should say. And I heard Kenny Smith bring up a great point during the, during the broadcast. There's a big difference between dunking when the lights are off and when the lights are on. And we've seen his dunks, on camera, but when he was doing it live in front of thousands of people, in front of millions of people worldwide, he just didn't have that same flair. And also going back to Aaron Gordon, he did come off of a foot injury, so, you could blame some of his mishaps on that. And he just didn't look as explosive as before. I mean, I might put some clips in of him last year. When he jumped over that mascot, I think it was called like the invisible chair. I forgot what the dunk was actually called. But when he had his legs like 6-7 feet in the air, you don't see athleticism like that. And Aaron Gordon just didn't look as athletic this year. I think a lot of that has to do with his prior foot injury. As for Glenn Robinson, I don't think he expected to make it to the final round. I felt like at some points he looked like he was lost, like he didn't know what he was going to do. And I think that's probably what caused some of his more basic dunks where, he was using Paul George. He jumped over Paul George at one point, but we've seen these dunks before. Like it was nothing too crazy. Now, lastly, my last complaint about the dunk contest, what really made it a very huge disappointment, was the fact that the crowd just wasn't too hyped. I remember, last year's dunk contest when Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon were going at it, the crowd was standing up the entire time. You could hear the crowd in the broadcast. That's not something we could hear with this dunk contest. Looking around in the crowd, I mean, everybody's sitting. When they show the crowd in the cameras, pretty much everybody is still sitting. I feel like that just isn't going to work. And also, I remember last year, they had some very cool judges, and they also had a lot of people on the broadcast table. I think Ernie was there. You had the entire TNT crew, plus Kevin Hart at some points. This year, all you had was Shaq, Kenny, Reggie Miller, and I believe Marv Albert, and that was it. So, they could have done better with the broadcasting team. Obviously, I'm not complaining about it. It was still good, but I think that takes away a lot from the viewer standpoint. So I've talked enough about how the dunk contest was a very huge disappointment. I was so disappointed watching it. I was expecting a dunk contest, on the level of last year, and it just didn't. It was way worse. So let's talk more about the positives. How can we fix the dunk contest? Well, first of all, I think the NBA should give these players bigger bonuses for placing and winning the dunk contest. Currently, first place walks away with $100K, second place walks away with $50K, third and fourth place walk away with, I think, $25,000. So obviously that's a lot of money, but I think if they give more money to the winners, more superstars would want to come and participate in the dunk contest. Because think about it. Say they give first place $500,000 or $250,000 even. That's so much money that's really going to incentivize more superstars to participate in this contest. I mean, as I said, $100K is a lot, but $100K or $500K. You also got to keep in mind, these superstars are making bank. So $100K isn't even much to them. And I think the best way to revive the dunk contest is just to bring more superstars in. You need more high caliber players because guys like Derrick Jones, Glenn Robinson, they aren't going to carry the dunk contest. So imagine if they brought some superstars into the dunk contest. It would really make for a very popular and, a beneficial contest. Also, there wasn't much creativity, but it's very hard to be creative in the dunk contest since, the contest is over 30 years old by now. So I think some more creativity would be nice. Aaron Gordon was very innovative last year, bringing out the mascot and everything. I would have liked to see more of that. He brought out the drone, didn't work, but more creativity is always nice. So that's really all I have to say about the dunk contest. I was just very disappointed about it. Now I'm just going to touch up on about the 3-point contest and the skills challenge. 3-point contest was pretty fun watching. Klay Thompson choked. He didn't make it to the finals. He was by far the favorite to win. Didn't even make it to the final round. Eric Gordon and Kyrie went at it. Congrats to Eric Gordon. I was hoping to see Kyrie win his second one, but Eric Gordon, lights out shooting. Congrats to Eric Gordon. As for the skills challenge, it's a very cool concept, but I think it's getting a little boring. I think they need to revamp it. I don't know what exactly they need to do, but a revamp to the skills challenge would be nice. Maybe even bringing in more superstars, as I mentioned earlier. I think the skills challenge is great. I like the big guys versus small guys, but a revamp would always be nice. But my favorite part about All-Star Weekend has to be the Craig Sager tribute. When Ernie Johnson came out and then he was like, we'll donate $10,000 for every made three, and then Reggie Miller comes out and then he invites James Harden comes out, DeMar DeRozan comes out, DJ Khaled makes an appearance, you got Candace Parker, Michael B. Jordan. Pretty interesting. I like how they did that. James Harden, I think he hit the most threes there. They had 130,000 after the very first go. Then they call Curry to make a half-court shot, and we all know what happened. Curry unfortunately choked. He wasn't able to make the half-court shot, but it's all good. Craig Sager's son ended up making the last shot to lead to a $500,000 donation for the Craig Sager Foundation. great addition to the All-Star Saturday night. In my opinion, that was the best part of the night. But that is gonna do it for me. This is just my recap of the 2017 NBA dunk contest / Saturday night. I thought the dunk contest was a very, very huge disappointment, and if they don't work on it, and if they don't try to revamp it very soon, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. But as far as the rest of Saturday night goes, it was a pretty cool night. You know, 3-point contest was nice, skills challenge was nice, and the Craig Sager tribute was even greater. So that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash that like button if you want to see more. Let's try to hit 100 likes on this video. That would be amazing. But that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.
One thing about music, when it hits you feel no pain, and I swear I got this shit that make these bitches go insane.